Thing we're going to look at is how muscles are oriented, and they're a little bit different on the actual animal, or in this case, the human. But when we looked at our mink, it didn't really look so defined as this. But what you saw was the direction of fibers, and those direction of fibers indicated that you were separating one muscle from another. So if it all looked in the same direction, you would be like, okay, well, we are all just one muscle. Clearly, that is not the case. So, technical terms, there are 602 muscles in the body. You are very welcome that you don't have that many to learn. Yay. So we are looking at the major muscles of each region in the body. And the good thing about models is they are really defining the areas of these muscles, and it's easier to see. This one is a circular muscle around the orbit. So the term has both of those terms in it, and the muscle's name is orbicularis oculi. Orbicularis oculi. Now there's also a circle muscle around the mouth, and that one is called orbicularis oris. So oris means oral, oculi around the eye. Now on the facial muscles, you can also see frontalis, temporalis, and then we can see occipitalis on the back of his skull here and here. Okay, so some sources tend to call the entire sheath the epicranius, which is just the covering, but depending on which area bone it's covering, we name it according to that skull or cranial bone. So that's easy enough because now we know all those bones, or we should. So you should know what those muscles are. In this region, we will see a zygomaticus. There is a major and minor, but in this course, we just want to know that that is zygomaticus. It is in the same region as zygomatic bone. There is a muscle right at the angle of the mandible there that helps us clench our teeth. So when you clench your teeth, it's the one that pops out. That is called the masseter. Masseter. On this view, we're actually seeing the masseter here, and then the internal view of when we took some of the external muscles out. This is a deeper muscle, and it's called the buccinator because this is a buccal region. And this buccinator helps, I call it the kissing muscle. So this is the clenching the teeth muscle, and then this is the kissing muscle. It's also responsible for us to purse our lips to do whistling. Okay? Did go over temporalis. All right, so let's start going into the neck. Sternocleidomastoid is on either side, and this guy's only showing one side. And because it has three terms there are three insertion points: the sternum, the clavicle, and the mastoid process. And it's responsible for turning our head from one side to another. And it is also the one that gives us torticollis, which is when you wake up and the term is crick in my neck and you can't move it the other direction, you can thank your SCM, or sternocleidomastoid, for that. Directly beneath the sternocleidomastoid, if I were to pull that guy off, I would see what is known as the scalenes. The scalenes has a posterior, middle, and anterior. Okay? The anterior neck muscles are all what hold this free-floating bone called the hyoid in place. And it's kind of, you know, in our voice box region or our larynx. So that's representing the hyoid, the white part. And all of these muscles have to anchor it in place. Lucky for us, we don't have to know all of them, but a few of them. The one that's a broad, flat muscle underneath is the mylohyoid. The mylohyoid. It's kind of a, you know, the floor of the chin. Then we have two muscles that are in this vicinity. One is going to be in the shape of a V, and that goes to the styloid process and the mental region of the mandible. That is called the digastric muscle. Directly posterior to that, there is another muscle called the stylohyoid. So stylohyoid and digastric. The one that goes from the hyoid to the sternum, right here, is known as the sternocleidomastoid. Okay, so now we have mylohyoid, digastric, stylohyoid, sternocleidomastoid. Sternocleidomastoid, and the scalenes.